Ever since I first saw the stats of Prime Roberto Carlos on FIFA 18 at the capture event, when I first saw them stats, I was like, I really want him, and I really want to make a video on him. So now that he's here, I can finally put that plan into place, and I'm going to build a super team around Roberto Carlos, and then I'm going to change it in game for him to play striker on FUT 18. So in goal, I have my SBC pool of Peter Schmeichel. Decided to go ahead and complete this guy, pull the trigger on him, just because, well, he was 340k to complete, and he's a very, very high rated icon to stick into another Prime Icon SBC along the way. Now we move on to the defence for this particular squad in the 4-1-2-1-2. It's got a couple of overpowered players and a couple of Prime Icons on loan. So I've got Kyle Walker at right back. He is sort of arguably one of the best. I think maybe people say that in-form Antonio Valencia is still better than him, but I don't have 500,000 coins spare that I'd want to put into a right back, so I'm definitely happy to use Kyle Walker, and he's been great for me this year. I've actually used him a lot. And then, of course, Jerome Boateng, 88 rated. I really rate Boateng this year. There's only one centre-back that I actually rated more highly than him, and that was icon Frank Rijkaard. But I sold him for like a 300k profit, and ever since I've sort of missed him, and I kind of want to bring him back. But then after using the next player in my team, which is the 90 rated Prime Rio Ferdinand, I'm also kind of inclined to maybe go ahead and complete his full SBC, because he's rock solid, man, and he's really, really quick. Those are the in-game stats if you were interested of Prime Rio Ferdinand, and my god, does he look like a complete monster and play like one in-game. So this is the main man for the episode, right? Roberto Carlos. He's starting at left back so that I can put him on full chem. I've got the sniper chemistry style, and you're going to see right now as I put the FUTWIZ stats up for him what he looks like with a sniper chem style on full chem. And those in-game stats just make me happy, very excited that he is going to have great dribbling, great shooting, amazing pace, and he is just going to be able to absolutely annihilate defences as a striker. I'm hoping so anyway. That is the main aim for me today. But moving on into the midfield then, I got a couple like overpowered players and then a couple of icons as well. Leon Goretzka, 82 rated. Like, he's got an inform variant, but I actually find this one to be really, really good, so there's no point in me upgrading him. I have used the inform and I didn't think he was much different, so I was like, what's the point? And then of course we have the inform Fernandinho that was in my fatal squad, and like stats are great on him, but I actually don't rate him as highly as I do someone like Goretzka. Now Goretzka's actually going to pull the short straw today and actually play as my like makeshift left back, but I'll get to that in a little while when I've actually built the team. I'll show you how I'm going to play with it in game. Of course, GULLIT makes it into my super team today. He is the best player on FIFA 18 in my opinion, and I'm so glad that I have him. I think he's actually kind of like solidly at 3.5 million now, so I could make mad profit on him, but there's just no way I'm ever going to sell because he's that good. I actually really love him. I've become attached to my GULLIT. Ronaldinho makes it into the squad as well. Just one of the most fun players on the game. Just such an absolute beast. Loads of great dribbling. His shooting and passing is amazing. 5-star skills. Just the fun factor of the Brazilian icon with all the skills is enough to make me want to kind of just hold on to him forever as well. I get very attached with these players, man. I don't even know why. They're just cards on a game. I don't know why I get attached. It's a bit silly, really. Sometimes I literally won't sell something because I don't know, I've had the players for so long. Moving on anyway. COSTA Prime. He was an SBC that was an amazing value for money player. Like, he is actually a very good player on the game. And his SBC is a lot cheaper than some of the other ones. He doesn't require an icon. He's sort of like always teeters around that 500,000 mark to get, and he's definitely worth that. Gabriel Jesus in form, another player that's in my fatal team. And, well, he's rapid and he's got great dribbling and his shooting's good as well. But as you can see, I actually get loads and loads of assists with him because I'm typically either trying to pass it, in this particular instance, to Roberto Carlos, or in previous instances to Ronaldinho for fatal and all of that good stuff. So yeah, he's great and all, but I don't see much difference between him and his regular item. So that's how this team starts, and then this is how it's going to go in-game. I wanted to make sure I had a Brazilian trio up front. It's sort of like the old and the new. You've got Roberto Carlos and Ronaldinho, that throwback sort of awesome Brazilian era. And then you've got the new, there's Gabriel Jesus, you know, the new young talent in Brazilian football. Well, in the Premier League as well, of course. But yeah, Goretzka's going to go left back. He's tall, he's got good work rates, and his defensive stats are fine. Alright weak foot as well, so I figured he'd probably do an alright job. Gullit and Rui Costa play centre mid. Defensive midfield for Fernandinho, of course Cam for Ronaldinho, and then he is well, Gabriel Jesus is up front with little Roberto Carlos. I put Roberto Carlos as number 6. I'm right in saying that he was number 6, right? I'm pretty sure he was. Now, if I'm wrong, like, I also think, was he number 3? And I think there may be a difference between for international and then for some of the clubs and stuff. But for some reason in my head, I was like, put Roberto Carlos at number 6. So don't hate me if that wasn't his, like, primary number. Maybe I should have just looked that up or something. But I was super confident in my head that he wore number 6 for at least someone. Yeah, don't hate me if I'm completely and utterly wrong right there. How about this for a 120th minute goal, by the way? Absolute scenes going on. I thought I scored it with Roberto Carlos, but Gullit runs away celebrating, so he he ends up getting the ball over the line. Like, that was to equalise, to then go to penalties. I ended up losing the penalty shootout, but it was absolute scenes to score a crazy goal like that right at the end. And then this is one of the nicest goals as well. Rui Costa getting acrobatic up in here to score a lovely, lovely goal. I think he like throws both of his feet up and just volleys it into the back of the net. And that's a sublime goal. Probably the best goal I've scored with Rui Costa, because a lot of the time they're just sort of low drivens as he's made a surging run through, and he doesn't often score a goal like that, and I don't often take my corners like that, so it was a bit weird. Ronaldinho is just Ronaldinho. He is going to score just about anything. Like, He's so difficult to defend against. If you just stop sprinting with this guy and then do like the odd fake shot or the odd dip of the shoulder or the odd skill move, people just go nuts. They can't defend against him. And I mean, there's some times where if someone's pretty good, they'll literally shut him down. But if you can get someone who's not too sure on the defending and then you utilise a few skill moves and stuff, you can pull off some dirty runs with Ronaldinho. And then, of course, he's just got the technique to either play that final ball through to someone or, of course, score the goal for himself. And it is one of my hobbies, I'd say, at this point, that I love to shoot with Ronaldinho on FIFA 18. And then we move on to the odd goal that I actually got with Gabriel Jesus. That one was a complete P-roller, but it goes past Hugo Lloris, and then he's dabbing with Ronaldinho and Roberto Carlos. Like, that's not something you see every day, so I'm happy to bring that to you. I also score this one right here. Like, I just turned the defenders, and then I think that's a weak foot goal as well. You can definitely rely on the 4-star weak foot of Gabriel Jesus, especially this inform version. I guess that's kind of the difference. His added shooting bonuses mean that or his shooting upgrades mean that you can actually feel pretty confident to take pretty much any shot with this sort of player, knowing how overpowered he is in the game. And then this ball just sort of like bounced up for him, and he hits it on that half volley. The ball was just in the air, so it kind of is a volley, and it was just glorious. It goes in the back of the net and looks really good on the replay. Like, he's properly flinging through that one. And there's loads of power behind it to go past David De Gea. And that was informed David De Gea as well. And now we move on to the goals that I was able to score with Roberto Carlos. This one, a low driven that you would obviously expect. He was just in a good position and then, of course, utilised his pace to get one-on-one with the goalie. And if he doesn't score that, I'm going to be mad because, like, he should. He's got the shooting stats to do it. You've seen the in-game stats with the Sniper Chem style. And then this is more like it, right? This is more like the Roberto Carlos that I'm expecting. Like thunderbolt from outside the box, loads and loads of shot power, great long shot ability and all that sort of stuff. This is kind of like a mini player review on him, but just completely and utterly out of position. I had an absolute blast using Roberto Carlos as a striker, I have to say. Like, that's a lovely volley as well. I know the keeper goes down and he volleys it straight into the middle of the goal, but I'll take it. It was just a good volley. So he's got the technique. And what you actually also get, if you do move him up front in game, is someone that has like a good interception stat and a tackle stat and stuff, so you can chase down the defenders when they're playing it around the back and actually win the ball back off them. So yeah, I was really impressed with Roberto Carlos. He's just a complete and utter beast. I played one of my mates for a couple of games, so that's why we just literally had like a LAN on a few nights ago, and I gave him a couple of games. Then also obviously went online to play other people as well. But yeah, I scored some pretty hefty goals with him, and this goal right here. Oh no, it's not that one. It's not that one. There's another one coming up, which I ended up coming up against someone with like a Pele, and I also came up against another person with like 4 or 5 icons in their team. So there were some decent opponents to come up against, but Roberto Carlos, man, I think it was that goal. Yeah, 2 minutes 40 against the guy with the Pele. I just scored an absolute wonder goal with Roberto Carlos, and he was just like, oh. I thought he was going to quit, but he ended up quitting at 5-0 at half time. So I did well against the 91. I kept the 91 Pele pretty quiet. I think he also scored this particular goal right here. Just good pass and movement. And then I actually scored a goal like that on the road to glory as well, where Roberto Carlos just hits it first time. So he's got the technique to be able to do that as well. Like if he's running onto the ball, or the ball's is going slowly enough that he can just run and strike across the ball, it's pretty accurate, it's very powerful, and it will find its way into the back of the net. So there you go, guys. A bit of a different squad builder from me today. A complete and utter mega team with that Brazilian trio up front, including Prime Roberto Carlos as a striker. I had a huge amount of fun making this video and using him up front. And I'm looking forward to the other 15 games that I've got on him. Maybe I'll complete the full SBC at some point as well, because he is a whole bunch of fun. But yeah, smash a like on the video if you have enjoyed. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're new. Have a great day, guys, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.